Hey there, happy Monday. Welcome to a new week. And today we are talking Moon Monday, and I'm going to talk to you about creative visualization. Welcome. My name is Patty Diaz. I am a manifestation coach, and I specialize in helping women break free from societal, cultural, or familial expectations, limitations, and maybe identities in order to rebelliously unleash your inner rock star and live a life designed by you that you want to be living and on your terms. I do this by showing you how to work with the moon to create this life of magic, which consists of my formula of manifestation, abundance, gratitude, intention, and clarity. So let's get into today's topic. It is Moon Monday because we have a new moon coming up later this week. It is the Pisces new moon. So I'm talking to you. The tip or the thing to incorporate or try is creative visualization. And if you don't really know what that is, it boils down to imagining. Imagining the life that you want to be living, like on a day to day scale, like not the big grand dream, that's the vision. But the creative part is like, how do you dress? How do you spend your day? Where do you hang out? These types of things so that you can really start to feel those emotions, like how excited you are, how happy you are in your surroundings, how much you love the things that you do. So think about just imagining, daydreaming, if you will. This is that creative part. Just let your imagination run wild and start to, as much as you can, depending on where you are, feel into that. What does it feel like? What does it feel like, to wake up when you want to? What does it feel like to spend your days on um on a schedule that you create instead of one created by you? What does it feel like, to sit outside of your home or at a coffee shop and work instead of in an office if that's what you want? What are those feelings that come up, and where do you feel them? What types of things help you that you can imagine that help you tap into those feelings? And this is a wonderful practice at any time, really, and any new moon as you're setting intentions and really kind of feeling into them. But this Pisces new moon is the last moon of the zodiac calendar, and it is a water moon. And Pisces is like that really deep, mystical, um, um, uh, what's the word I'm looking for? Um, Divine, like all these really deep connections. And so think about manifesting the you that you really want to. And what does that feel like? Who is the future you? You know, um, I encourage you to not focus so much on the things like the job, the house, the thing, but who is the future you? What kind of amazing person are you? How have you evolved? How do you think? How do you dress, right? Focus on you, because this is truly how you attract the things that then resonate and align with that with the you that you are imagining and visualizing. So, that is the practice for this week. And anytime, keep it in your toolbox, your magical personal development moon toolbox, if you will. And let me know how it goes, what it feels like. If it's challenging, that's okay. Maybe we can come up with some different things for you to try. That's what this is all about, learning what works for you. And if you've been around, or if not, on Mondays, I also pull a card with some motivation or inspiration for the week. And I do it a little bit differently. I don't do like pull a card and say, this is the meaning and this is how it could play out this week, because I use tarot cards in my coaching practice, in my coaching services. I use it in a lot of aspects, but I use it as a coaching tool. So the card that I pull, I then kind of touch a little bit, maybe some keywords on the meanings. And I also ask you a question. kind of like a reflective question, a journaling prompt question, if you will, to help you think differently, come up with answers, come up with action steps, whatever the case might be. And this month of February, I have been using the Circle of Life tarot deck. And so this card is from that deck. It's the last one, I think, for February, new deck next month. And so the card that I pulled is the Emperor. And overall, that's like, a figure of authority. Think of an emperor, a figure of authority, structure, um, power, if you will, if that's a word that resonates with you. I like authority and knowledge, because you have to know your stuff, really, if you're a good emperor. So here's the card, here's the picture, and I did practice beforehand. If I bring it in real close, it tends to um then focus. Maybe I didn't do it fast. There we go. Maybe I even practiced beforehand, but that's okay, we'll make it work. Where is it? So what I want you to see, if there we go, is look at this guy's face, because this is telling a story, right? If you think of it that way, he's telling a story. He has all the things. He's, very well off, but look at his face. Does he look like he's enjoying his position, his role as emperor, right? He doesn't look too happy, and I know my hand is having a hard, I can't hold it that steady. But he doesn't look all that keen in his position. And so the question that I came up with is, what stories, because I like to tell stories, what stories come up for you when you think of reaching this goal that maybe seems out of reach? Like being an emperor seems like, holy cow, that, wow. But maybe that's how you feel about your goals, your dreams, your desires, but you're not really aware of it. So what are the stories that you have? Like, for example, is it lonely at the top? Right? Maybe this emperor is lonely by looking at his facial expressions. Is it hard to be an emperor, and whatever your goal is it hard to maintain, that level of income if that's what you're working on? Is it draining? Is it not fun? Do you have these stories and beliefs that are keeping you from taking the steps to reach your goals, taking the steps to become that person who attracts the opportunities to get there? So the question that I ask, especially because we're in the waning half of the moon, the waning part right at the end before the upcoming new moon this week, ask yourself, what stories are keeping, or beliefs are keeping me from achieving my dreams? And it's a very simple question. But when you start writing about it, things will come up. Maybe you could ask yourself, what beliefs do I have that are keeping me from achieving my dream? What beliefs do I have about maintaining my status or my position, or being able to maintain my dream and live that life authentically? Because if we have these negative beliefs, they're going to keep us from achieving them. An example that I have is one that my boyfriend, actually, I talked to him about. It was several years ago, but we saw some people, and then he made a comment, and the specific comment I can't remember, but it was, someone that appeared well off. And then he made a comment, and later on we're talking about it, and I said, do you have a judgment about people with money, or that, are perceived to have money? And he said yes. And we talked about, I wish I could remember the comment, but I remember saying, well, if you have this belief about rich people, then you'll never be rich. You'll never be wealthy. And he's like, well, what do you mean? I said, so if you have a belief, and let me just put something generic in it. If rich people are bad, right? That's a very generic one. But if you have this belief, underlying belief or judgment about rich people, that they're bad, Your ego self will never allow you to reach that or maintain it if you do, because you don't want to be perceived as bad. You don't want to be perceived as a bad person or greedy or whatever the case is. So you will not be able to reach or maintain this level of wealth or any level of wealth if that's what you're choosing, because your belief is will keep you from it. So as we're winding down the waning half of the moon lunar cycle, check in with yourself. What beliefs, what stories, what judgments do you have about the goal or being the person or the type of people that have that dream that might be keeping you from it? And it might not come right away, but keep it in mind. Now be aware of the things that come up for you when you're setting intentions or journaling. And if you have any insights, let me know. I cannot wait to hear about them, because by identifying them and working on that releasing process, they don't become so big an obstacle. It starts to become easier to recognize them and work around them. Start reframing those beliefs so that you actually move forward towards your goal and achieve them. So let me know, and I will see you next Monday with a new deck for March. Take care, guys.